Welcome, everybody, to Zeta Global Radio. This is Sevante here in part 2 for this incredible divine appointment for all of you to listen in for the Gathering of Humanity. We started it off last Saturday with the incredible, inspiring wisdom from both Grandmother Flordemayo and Master Mingtong from the Tea Center, and we're so excited to continue this energy thread with some very, very special divine beings who are also feeling the call to come to the Gathering for Humanity, May 16th through the 20th in Santa Fe, New Mexico. So today, I'm so honored, we're going to have a whole variety of different people who are coming to really support the Mother, support the Earth, support all of us, support all of us being together in one accord, whether we can be there physically or not. And they're going to share why they feel called and what their beautiful talents are that Spirit's given them. So thank you so much for being here today. It's an amazing show. I'm so glad to be here with all of you. And introduce you to our first guest today, who is Matthew Reifslager, and if I pronounce that wrong, even though he just told me offline how to say it, he is a spiritual healer who works with celestial and multidimensional energies, and he offers support for illness and life challenges. And I know I'm only just reading a snapshot, but I already know intuitively, and it's only been seconds, but very, very aligned with the work this amazing being it does. So I will let him tell you more about himself. Welcome to the show, Matthew. So glad to have you here.
Thank you. I am so happy to be here with you.
So for someone who's known both Master Mingtong for a while, he's been on my show, and I've worked with the incredible Grandmother Flordemayo and her beautiful seed temple in the past. When she says this is what she's doing, I am all in, because I know who she gathers are an incredible, well, it's really creator, but through her and the energy that she puts out in the world, she brings forth some dynamic beings. So let's tell people about you and how you've come to gather with this wonderful event coming in May.
Beautiful. Well, yes, Flordemayo, grandmother.
Yeah.
She's the why, and she's the spark, and she speaks so authentically and fully and powerfully about the need of the time. And we've known each other for many years, and she's invited me and our organization to co-host the event. All I need is to hear Flordemayo say, do you want to do this? And the answer is going to be yes. We have so many wonderful teachings, so many wonderful beings in the world right now, and they're all needed. Everyone finding their light, their wisdom, the full connection with their soul nature, the one that knows, the one that is in love. And yet we're waking up through a matrix of confusion, and we're waking up through a physiology that's on an evolutionary journey. And that can create a lot of friction in the life process. We have some teachers who embody so fully the realization, and it's so authentic in the way they carry themselves, not just the presence of spirit, the presence of love, but the deeply human side, the deeply embodied, joyful, playful, kind, wise, capable side. And that is Flordemayo. And those are the kinds of souls that she brings together and the elders that she works with. And so when she shared the vision for the gathering, what I saw was the opportunity for wisdom keepers, young and old, those that see part of their life's journey or all of their life's journey as waking up to who they are, who they truly are, and giving that to the world and giving that to themselves. The opportunity to be in that environment with embodied teachers, to be in that environment with, yes, teachings, but even more than that, the living presence, the living transmission. Because we have all the knowledge we could need, but we don't have all of the embodiment of that knowledge that we need. So the gathering looks to me like that place of resonance where we can go for not only attunement, but for breakthrough, to really establish another level of internal clarity, which is really the only clarity that we are responsible for. And that's what we can give to others. So Flordemayo has established that internal clarity to such a high degree, and the events that she calls forward, they have that transformational power. And that's what the gathering should be in a couple of months.
Did you say that all in one breath, Matthew? It was like, it was gorgeous. And it couldn't have been more heartfelt for our listeners to really see. There's something very special happening.
Yes, this is my
happening
pitch.
Now.
Yes, come. This is the pitch. Come. You just come. Come and be healed, but also be a healer. Yes, yes.
Matthew, just in the few minutes we have left, just share a little bit about who you are with this audience, and a little bit of background about what you're going to be doing and who you are, and your divine expression that you bring to the planet.
Thank you. Yes, so I wear many hats, as all of us do, and my main work is as a multidimensional healer. And what I mean by that is that we are all multidimensional beings, ultimately. We are all flesh, we are all of the earth, we all have a body. Everything that science observes is accurate in the way that it's accurate, and we are also more than that. We are souls, we are consciousness, we are transcendent, and we have a huge self to live and a huge mission to enjoy. That's the truth of every being. No matter the journey, that's the truth of every being. And my journey has been one of continuing learning and activation in consciousness. For me, the healing work began in my early 20s with a couple of very significant activations in consciousness. The first and most important to divine love in my heart, that was not just an experience, but was also very talkative and very insightful. And I call this divine love, divine mother. And that connection with divine mother was what led me to Flordemayo, and Flordemayo and I sharing so much time together, and her being a great mentor, just on the level of living a mission while being deeply and fully human. And this presence of Divine Mother was so powerful for me in the first few years that I went from being spiritually oriented, most definitely, to being spiritually committed my whole life, following this journey, being so surrendered to the guidance of Divine Mother that it became a healing practice. At first I was just sitting with people and they would have transformational experience, and Divine Mother would share with me everything to share. And it was just like dialoguing with love. We were finding that the love was powerful. It was transformational. It was actually impacting people energetically and physiologically. And so I was guided to devote my life to the fulfillment of that potential, doing the healing work itself and teaching what comes from ultimately what is the love that is in all of our hearts. So that has been the unfolding journey. The focus has been very much on helping people with illness, helping people with life challenges, with crises. And we all know from our own personal experience that it is those crises, those illnesses, those challenges that we face that end up being the lead that's turned into gold, right? It's the alchemical process. It's so the true. Invitation to wake up. So it's a very sacred journey, all of our journeys, and the focus of yes, we're here to help with the actual blockage, the actual illness, whatever it may be, but may the byproduct always be more love, more authenticity, more clarity, and more awakening.
Beautiful. Well, the Gathering for Humanity, I believe, is entirely just that, and it's an awakening and a call for the mother who is in crisis. And so bringing your beautiful background and who you are you going to be doing meditations there? Or what do you see yourself doing besides participating in this incredible vortex?
Yes, I'll be on many of the panel discussions, sharing perspective that I've gained from Divine Mother primarily, and then also other celestial beings, celestial energies that I think can be very illuminating to understand what's taking place right now on Earth, and then specifically what to do about it, the practices that can be very, very useful. So specific guided meditations that have been given to me that are very powerful, and I'll be sharing those not only to experience while there, but that people can take home, practices that can help us embody that wisdom that we know in our own hearts, but can be easily, we can say, strained or pressured when we're in very dense collective consciousness, and we can pull us away from that depth of wisdom that we have. So these are practices that can help us stay in our wisdom when we go out into a world that is not yet resonant with what we're carrying deep inside.
Gorgeous. Well, if you want to see Matthew and everybody else and be part of this incredible experience, we invite you to continue listening in. All details, a full hour about the Gathering for Humanity. And you can also go to gatheringforhumanity.org. You're listening to Zeta Global Radio. We're going to take a brief break. Thank you, Matthew, for being here. We'll see you there. And I do want to state that we are going to have Matthew back here for a full hour in the next couple of weeks. So keep a lookout on the Facebook page or ZetaGlobalRadio.com for a full hour with Matthew and sharing all his wisdom with all of you. You're listening to ZGR. We'll be right back.
Are you ready to delve deeper to find the truth of who you are and discover your own unique gifts for the world? Have you searched for an understanding of your creative expression and how to bring that into form? World-renowned spiritual practitioners Teresina and Martin Bakens invite you to 2 special upcoming Enlightened retreats. May 17th through 19th, join Teresina with co-presenter Cheryl Ryder for the powerful retreat Healing with the 5 Elements, held at the Sevante Federal Wildlife Refuge between Belen and Socorro, New Mexico. On June 8th through 10th, Teresina and Martin Bakens will be back teaching the sacred spiral of the phenomenal people, now reserving on the beautiful tropical paradise of Pine Island in southwest Florida. You'll join others to celebrate the sacred understanding of self, remember the ancient wisdom encoded in your body, and the opportunity to explore the creatrix within. You will emerge with the experience of an even more inspired, empowered you. Early registration and pricing is available for both retreats, and for more information, please visit beaconsoflove.com. That's beaconsoflove.com. Trice Massage Therapy and Skincare is Southwest Florida's premier holistic and wellness spa to relax and rejuvenate your well-being. Founded by Lucille Trice, this enlightened haven located in Cape Coral offers a variety of massage therapies including Swedish, deep tissue, and trigger point massage. Trice offers detoxifying body wraps and facials using natural organic ingredients to pamper your skin and restore balance and health. Visit their Trice Massage Therapy and Skincare Facebook page or call 239-672-0526 and book your experience today. Mention ZGR and receive a complimentary ionic foot detox experience.
Welcome back to Zeta Global Radio. We are here today exploring our mindset, exploring our relationship with our thoughts and how that can or cannot lead to dis-ease and or health and wellness. So I think it's a choice, and I think we're learning today through Matthew Reifslager, who's here sharing his wisdom with us. Where can we explore? And as we just said on the end of the last segment, it's more going beyond our thoughts. So welcome back, Matthew. Let's talk more about where we can go and to support people into their health and well-being.
Thank you. Yes. I think my main point with the discussion of positive thoughts and negative thoughts, and instead looking at the relationship with thinking itself as a practice, as a meditation of being mindful, of being aware of the thoughts as they come and go, and not be in the spontaneous mode of believing everything that we think, is that so many of us who have been journeying for a long time, spiritually, we might be aware of that foundational principle that we are not our thoughts, that we are a true self beyond our concepts of ourself, beyond the thoughts that we think and the ego that we construct. But when we are going through a life challenge or a crisis or an illness, the first thing that typically leaves us is that deeply present, mindful quality, the one that knows that we aren't our thoughts and beliefs, because all of a sudden we're presented with something that activates all of that intense circuitry in our nervous system. And the mind says red alert, and the body says red alert. And that can happen in acute situations, but it can also happen in chronic situations where we're really mindful and alert in so many ways, but we have these blind spots that we just don't have that same relationship and access to our true self throughout the day or in a certain relationship or pattern. So to make that a regular practice, I see as foundational, so useful. It opens up so many things for us. And what it does is it also starts to open up when we're connected to our true self, which is our consciousness, the one that compassionately and lovingly observes. That is the one, your true self. Your true self is the one that has relationships with so many multidimensional energies, so many healing energies. The more you have the relationship with the thinking mind, the more still the consciousness is, the more the consciousness has access to all of this profound celestial and multidimensional support. And I'm sure you can speak to that as well in your own healing practice and the work you do, Sevante.
I think that's absolutely true. And I find what's happening all the time, but what I have noticed recently is I started a new page for intuitive wisdom on Facebook and YouTube. And what I'm finding is that when people come on as a group, everyone's wanting to know about the same thing, although they haven't voiced it. But there's always something up in the field for everybody. And I think that's what we were talking about recently with the Gathering for Humanity too, that it's up for all of us to pay attention to the mother. And it's up for all of us to pay attention to our thoughts. And how are those thoughts making a difference for ourselves? And how are they affecting other people as well? Because we're all in this together. And it comes back to the love, but it also comes back to the oneness and the wholeness. If we have it within ourselves and we learn how to master it, and we can master that as a community and expand that love exponentially, and all of us can shift into that higher vibration. So there's that. I don't even know where we're going. This is so great.
You know, I love it. It's this relationship with the earth, this relationship with collective consciousness This is another reason why I see it as so foundational to wake up to our thoughts, as in to wake up to the experience that we're not our thoughts. It's both obvious and invisible. It's because there's so much suffering in the world, and most of your thoughts aren't even yours, right? They're learned, they're environmental, they're the chatter on the radio, they're the collective dialogue of humanity and culture.
So true.
It's that noise that we're unconsciously participating in, never mind if we're diagnosed and then we have internal fear that we're needing to work with. But underneath that, there's this collective consciousness that we're connected to no matter what, no matter if you're on a mountaintop or not. And so to wake up to that quiet place inside is the deep strengthening. It's the beginning of really powerful intuition and access to inner wisdom, where we're wanting to, in a healing session, if we're a healer and we step into a session, being able to tell the difference between what is a thought or a judgment, what is an emotion that's coming up, and what is actual wisdom or insight, deep intuition that comes up from deep within or from high above. That's the invitation for so many people who are waking up around the world. The powerful emergence of wisdom, of knowingness, of a dialogue with our own spiritual guides who exist multidimensionally. But if the tendency of the mind is so practiced in locking into just the thinking thoughts and the identification with that and the emotions that come with that, it can create, it's as if a door that's not locked but is closed, stays closed, but there's no lock on it. All we have to do is just open up that door. And it's the door of getting the mind quiet, getting into the deep practice of observing thoughts, of not identifying with every thought that comes forward. And then what happens is, and I've seen this with so many people that I work with, it's as if their intuition just comes online in blazing form, or if it's already online and very clear, that intuition starts to show itself in so many capacities, in clearer relationships with different healing energies and different vibrational perspectives. So this is just, it's what's happening on Earth right now. It's happening for all of humanity, this huge awakening process. Whether people want it or not, it's happening, it's coming, it's unfolding. Mm-hmm. And so it's creating that big wave of stress that moves through collective consciousness. The more we can have a relationship to it instead of an identification with it, the more we are able to be really anchored in truth, connected to intuition, and connected to the guides that are always here for us and with us.
Let's take a break there. I do want to talk in the next segment about the guides, and for those who may not even know what that means when we say the guides or the archangelic realm or the ascended master. So I think that's a really great stopping point, and when we come back, we'll explore that even deeper with all of you. You're listening to David Silver Radio. We'll be back in a moment.
Sandy Wyndham is Florida's premier artistic photographer. Her passion shines through every picture she takes. Whether creating a series of artistic shots, headshots, corporate shots, or capturing one of life's most memorable moments, she just can't be beat. Consider Sandy Wyndham Photography. Visit her now at sandywyndham.com and let her know you're a ZGR listener for special discounts. Spiritual Communities Network, where we honor the uniqueness in our oneness. Visit our website to meet our vast spiritual community of healers, therapists, conscious events, and activities. Visit and check out our directory, upcoming retreats, workshops, products, free videos, and much more. Many services are available globally by phone, Skype, and other sources of media. You'll also find more information on how you can be a member to promote the work you're doing in the world. Visit us now at spiritualcommunitiesnetwork.com.
Welcome back to Zeta Global Radio. Thank you so much for being here today and for hearing the call. And another special thank you to Matthew Reifslager for being here and sharing his beautiful divine presence. And if you are hearing that beautiful music that we just came into this segment with, you are in for a treat because we have Madi Sato here, that's whose music that was. And along with her beautiful divine partner, Timothy McLaughlin, they are both here sharing their artistry, their love for Creator, love for the Mother, along with all these wonderful beings we are talking to today, here for the May upcoming event in Santa Fe, Gathering for Humanity. So welcome to the show, to Zeta Global Radio, both Madi and Timothy. I'm so glad you're here, and I've had the pleasure of meeting you prior in a couple years ago, so I'm so thrilled you're here on the show. So welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you so much, Sevante, for having us.
Yes, it's a pleasure.
Yes. So we are here gathering with all of us together and in praise of the Mother. And of course, when you told me praisingearth.org was your website, and I know you have many others, I just was so thrilled how everyone is coming together. So maybe share a little bit with the audience about what the two of you do. You can each take turns and then share about your what you're going to be doing at this great gathering.
Yes, thank you, Sevante. Our nonprofit that Madi and I co-founded and co-lead is called Praising Earth. And our mission is that we are devoted to rerouting and reestablishing oral traditions of song and of poetry and of story, and that way of the voice, that way of sort of sounding out our reverence for, our adoration of, our respect and offering to the Earth Mother. And so we do that in many, many capacities through women's singing circles and men's ceremony and many, many different programs. And so we're one of the 4 host organizations for this upcoming Gathering for Humanity.
Yes, and I am leading a women's community and am part of the Praising Earth branch called the Singing Waters. And the Singing Waters brings together women from all backgrounds, all spiritual paths, to come together to sing and pray and dance and create together songs and offerings to the Mother Earth. And Tim leads up the men's community of Praising Earth. And then many times we merge together and join our unique gifts and ways of praying and embodying beauty for the Mother. So we're just so thrilled that we're being asked to be a part of this Gathering for Humanity and bring our gifts to the circle.
Blessings. Last week when we were speaking with Master Mingtong, we were sharing the importance of music and vibration and sound healing and how there's special energies on his land there where everybody's gathering. Obviously, the work that you're doing, it's not even able to say work because it's just sort of who you are. And so I'm realizing, as many of us are, is as we gather, and of course on Zeta Global Radio, we always are talking about the consciousness and the awareness of music. And so I just thought maybe you can touch on that as you see in your world the not only the magic but the powerful prayer music does bring for healing, and how this is such a focal point, of course, of what your gathering coming up in May.
Yes, absolutely. This is so vital at this time, particularly as we're getting so deeply entrenched into our technological world, and absorption with text and screens and all of this, to remember that we are animals first, and part of our animal nature that's beautifully unique to the human is our ability with language and sound, and that, how much possibility there is for us there. And that we're remembering again that throughout human history, we have used the voice, we've used language through song, and also through just sort of praise, sacred speech to literally feed the earth. We give her an energetic food through our expressions that she needs and wants and greatly longs for when we go silent and sort of forget to do that. So we're remembering in this gathering to do something that is our responsibility, but it's also our deep, ecstatic pleasure, and that's really what we're promoting, is that when we get out, especially when we get out into the wild, our whole organism comes alive and wants to praise, and wants to be in that place of wonder. And it's not a glib sense of, that sentimental view of nature. I mean, it's respecting the awesome power and brutal reality of the wild, but it is a deep, rich expression, whether it's spoken or sung, that we're meant to do, and we feel that rightness when we are doing it.
Beautiful. And just so I have a little bit of background on what you do, Timothy, you do spoken word and poetry, and I love that because, obviously for a lot of reasons, but the power of spoken word recently in years has become equally as important as music itself in sharing that heartfelt connection for people to have that resonance with community. So I'm thrilled that you'll be doing spoken word there. Maybe you could just touch a little bit on your background with that.
Yes, absolutely. And there's so many intersections, of spoken word expression and song itself,
Absolutely.
Yeah, in fact, poetry in its truest sense is extremely musical, and that's, pleasing to the ear and opens the soul in the same way that a song does. And the transfer potential when you start opening up to that world into your understanding and your relationship with language in general is enormous and really, really important. Because when we start to celebrate and then practice a more beautiful, a more heartfelt, a more open, less linear, less calculating, less sort of argument-based way with language, then our relationship with everything, our way on the earth, starts to change, starts to deepen, starts to become more enchanted, and I think becomes just more in resonance with all the other species of life. To me, when I'm in nature, I know that the pine trees and the clouds and the elk and eagles, they hear poetry differently than other types of talk, or language. And same with song. But since we are so often in language, bringing that consciousness to our languaging throughout our lives in every instance, every conversation is an enormous landscape that we're needing to start to delve into at this point.
Oh, gorgeous. So for those just tuning in, we are talking today here with Madi Sato and Timothy McLaughlin about their connection to Spirit, to Mother Earth, and to this gathering in which they'll be there, and we hope you all will too. Madi, are you here with us to, I have one more question for you before we wrap up. Okay, first off, let me backtrack for the listeners. When I said that I remember meeting you, I had the honor of joining your beautiful performance with all these divine women, goddesses, at a gathering. And I don't remember exactly what the gathering was, but of course it was Flordemayo was speaking, and we were filming some potential footage for an upcoming documentary about her. But can you give me a little bit of background on those women and what you were doing? And is that the same sort of gathering that we'll be seeing in May? When we come for the Gathering for Humanity?
Yes. This community that is literally springing up like the fresh waters from the earth has started here in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and the group is called the Song Carriers. And it has evolved over the past, we're going on 10 years now, from singing sacred songs from around the world to really going into ceremony with our voices and our prayers in alignment with the new moon and the full moon. And what I feel is happening, Sevante, is there's a momentum of course, we all have been hearing this, the feminine rising and the honoring of the divine feminine. And because women in particular literally physiologically embody a lot of the feminine qualities with our sacred womb space and our nurturing way of being in the community, the women are coming together in force to pray for the waters and the earth. And so we are keeping alive, we feel, nurturing traditional songs of the earth from many places around the earth that are very traditional, what I would call indigenous songs, in our groups that are also spreading to communities around America right now. And what's happening when we do that singing of those indigenous earth songs is that we're literally rerouting back into the earth, remembering our source, remembering our divine connection to the sacred waters. And we also sing new songs of the earth. There are women, and this is moving through me for many years, hearing the new songs coming from the earth at this time that are like little babies, and we're taking care of them. You know, that's why we're called the song carriers. There's a divine responsibility to nurture and take care of these songs that, like my husband Timothy spoke, are literally food and energy giving back to the mother to feed her. So the Song Carriers Women's Circle will be there singing honor songs before the grandmothers speak. I will also be leading a women's Song Carrier Circle one of the days, and my husband Timothy will also be leading a circle for the men. So it's this dance of balance and learning about the divine feminine, the divine masculine in all of us, and how we can engage with those energies and bring them into balance and bring them into blossoming in beauty.
Mm-hmm. Aw, that's wonderful. Well, thank you so much for being here today and for sharing the wonderful gifts. Is there any particular website we can direct people to if they want to know more about your music, or Timothy, more about your spoken word and poetry that we can share with everybody right now?
Yes, all of the women's singing work can be learned about at thesingingwaters.org. And then my work with poetry and with language is available online at timothypmclaughlin.com.
Terrific. Okay, well, we will see you in May along with everybody else we're visiting with today and last week at the Gathering for Humanity, taking place May 16th through the 20th in the beautiful sacred lands of Santa Fe, New Mexico. We're going to take another break, and we come back more with the Gathering for Humanity. We have a special treat here because Timothy is feeling called to bring forward some of this wonderful spoken word that we were just talking about. So go ahead, Timothy. I'm thrilled that this is coming up for you and for all of us to take part in.
Yes. So Brother Rilke reminds us, and we believe, and this is why we are gathering, that all will come again into its strength. The fields undivided, the waters undamped, the trees towering, and in the valleys, people as strong and varied as the land. The houses again welcoming all who knock, and a sense of boundless offering among all relations, and in you and me. No looking beyond this earth. No longing for an afterlife, but only longing for what belongs to us and serving earth, lest we remain unused.
You brought up a really important word in that beautiful sharing, which is serving and of service. And of course, we're all of service to the divine and to the mother, and she serves us and we serve her. So thank you for that. And any last thoughts before we conclude? That was beautiful.
Yes, I mean, that is it, to make ourselves useful to the Earth Mother and to set an altar as we will at the gathering, and to listen, and then to pray and to sing and to dance and to speak prayers and poems together, to hold a sacred fire, to honor the water in the middle, to have the elders standing there, to have the babies being held there. This is, who we really are as humanity. So we're returning to that.
And so it is. Hi, Lainie Sevante here, and I'd love for you to visit my new Facebook page for my private tarot and oracle session readings called Intuitive Wisdom. That's IN2UITIVE Wisdom. Conscious strategies for manifesting a more harmonious life. Don't we all want to have that? Let's see what's in the cards for you as we look at what needs to be cleared, expanded upon, and evolved. There's a lot to explore when we take a deeper look inside ourselves. Welcome back to Zeta Global Radio. Thank you so much for spending this incredible afternoon with us, or evening, or morning. The great thing about Zeta Global Radio is that you can click on our link anytime and listen to the beautiful people who are sharing their voice here today for Gathering for Humanity, as well as sharing this link with others, because everyone should be attending this sensational event. We couldn't even begin to get everybody on the show who are part of either co-hosting or performing or participating. All I can tell you is that we've given you a snapshot over the last couple weeks, both last week and today, and I highly, highly encourage you to please, if you feel the calling, to join these beautiful, beloved people who are sharing their gifts and are hearing the calls themselves. And again, to do that, you go to gatheringforhumanity.org. So we'll continue the journey as we were sharing earlier today about music and its potential for healing and its ability to connect and its ability to awaken and expand with our next two guests, which I'm so happy to share with you that they come together with music as medicine. Welcome to the show, Rick Bastine, or Rick Thunder Bastine, and Walkingstar. I'm so glad to have you here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Blessings.
Walkingstar is a man of few words, but with much, much impact. So I guess I'll start because he likes to have me talk a little bit.
I was almost going to say, because he's a man of few words, he should maybe just say hello and kind of welcome open this segment for the three of us to connect with our listeners.
Hello, my name is Walkingstar. Thank you for inviting us and into this conversation and, sharing of our music as medicine. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Rick Thunder Bastine. I'm a healing artist. I've been in healing for many years and have a private practice where I utilize many different modalities to assist in that, self-healing process. Just so blessed and grateful to be a part of this. It's a very special gathering and a special event that no doubt will benefit the entire planet and all its inhabitants.
Is this your first experience, in either one of you can answer that, working or collaborating and gathering with these individual presenters such as Grandmother Flordemayo and Master Mingtong?
Actually, it's not. We've been part of some other projects, the Crystal Earth Project. We were part of Unify Fest, where the message is pretty much about humanity and about love and about coming together. So those types of events and gatherings and festivals really appeal to us. And so we find a way, or a way is found for us to participate and to share what we do on that level and on that platform. It's really been a real blessing. We feel very blessed and just so grateful that it's happening that way, that Spirit and the universe is unfolding for us like that.
When you say what you do, so share what that really is, because maybe it's not even definable, but you can at least tangibly share what music as medicine is, at least as the two of you coming together and synergizing for humanity.
Well, we like to say music as medicine is about us offering a prescription for healing. We both realize that sound is such an amazing vehicle to assist in the healing process, self-healing process. I mean, music in itself, you hear songs that just move you so deeply. And for us, we get out of the way and let Spirit move through us and create sounds that we collaborate together in the moment and allow to be shared through us. And it's basically medicine. It's that medicine where it doesn't have the side effects that most prescription medicines have. The side effect is joy, calm, peace, happiness, love, and expansion. So for us, those effects are what everyone's looking for in having medicine, healing.
I think you touched on something so important, because this is not only what everybody's looking for, but I believe that's what the mother, the planet, Gaia, the creator, however one addresses this beautiful sacred land we all take part on living in and on, I believe that too is the calling that she needs nourishment. And that's why this is, as Grandmother Flordemayo had shared on her interview, so urgent, like an urgent call. And we were talking earlier about how music is sort of a language that feeds the planet and feeds the mother. And so that maybe if either of you wanted to share just on that notion about how music heals as well.
Well, I'll speak a little bit about that, about my own insight about that is that I feel that, sound in itself in general is just a universal language. I think that, probably one of the first experiences that has emanated from the universe is sound. I think sound is all around us. It's in us. It's through us. It's everything. So I think that the way I see it is, sound, it has no boundaries. I think it crosses all boundaries. And I think that it can penetrate into any, situation, all cultures. So I think that, it's a very powerful way of bringing healing to everybody.
Well said. Did you want to add to that, Rick?
Well, yes. I mean, in the beginning was the Word, as they say, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. And they talk about the Big Bang Theory. Again, we're talking about sound, vibration, frequency. And, as we all know, sound has the power to destroy and has been utilized a lot for that purpose. But more than that, it has the power to heal. And more, we're reclaiming that understanding and that knowledge and wisdom of sound to use it as a healing modality or mechanism to move the world forward. And we, John, Walkingstar and I are doing our part. We're answering the call from Gaia, Mother Earth, Creator, Spirit, Universal Life Force. We're answering the call and offering what Spirit has moved through us as medicine that can help heal the planet and all its inhabitants. And that's really our purpose, to educate, to bring about more awareness, expansiveness around what we can do ourselves. Our own voices are powerful, powerful tools and resources for healing if we utilize them knowing the power of sound.
And more, I think even the medical and scientific communities are now discovering and making it known now in the world that there's a lot of healing that's occurring with people with terminal illnesses. Some of the scientific research that they've been doing, with people with cancer and all kinds of stuff. Just people are being healed by frequencies and sounds. So I think that what we're doing is not too much different than some of these scientists and are doing right now with vibration and sound.
Absolutely true. I can only imagine and feel what it'll be like when all of you gather at this beautiful sacred land, May 16th through 20th, and share in the experience of oneness and music and sound and dance and touch and all the things that come together to unify us as a whole. Are you the two performing together, and who plays what instruments, or how does it all come together for the two of you?
Yeah, we are playing together. I utilize many different instruments or sound making tools. Crystal singing bowls, Tibetan bowls, didgeridoo, ocean harp, chimes, rain sticks, voice, and silence.
Wow, of course. I'm glad you mentioned silence, because it's always in that breath. We talk about that too. When you hear a song, it's the most poignant part sometimes are in the space.
Exactly. Yeah. And Walkingstar,
yeah, for myself, I don't play such expensive. I do mostly my native flutes and some drumming, some rattling, and what else? Yeah, just some other, couple other little sound instruments. But that's pretty much it for the most part. Blending of what him and I do together, it's more of, we're communicating with one another.
Sure.
We're listening, and there's a language that's happening between him and I, and also with the field, of that's around us, and also, whatever people are there. It's all, as you probably know yourself, it encompasses everything around us, and that's what we're moved by. That's what we listen to, and that's how we respond to, what the field is asking for.
Well, how can people learn more about the work that you're doing, or is it coming up that they can find out, or what's the best way? I know we're going to play a beautiful piece, and maybe you want to share about what the piece is as we end the show here with a song from the two of you, but is there a way that people can learn more about your music?
Well, I mean, currently we're still in the process of, getting some things together as far as, I mean, we don't officially have a website yet. Most of our postings for our events here in Santa Fe are usually, word of mouth through Facebook.
Well, when you're ready, you can send us info, and we'll make sure we tell our listeners about you for sure. There's no doubt.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah, thank you.
We see ourselves kind of as we're not very techy. we're not techy. Thank you guys. I consider myself an elder now that I've turned 60.
Oh.
And I consider John an elder too. So we come from a time and an era where we were on the edge before the computer age,
Of course I know.
What we could, but both Walkingstar and I we work, every day. We have our jobs, our own businesses that we are doing. And so it takes up a lot of time. And then to think of doing the techie stuff, it's like, oh, God.
Well, of course. And when it's time, the right people will show up, and you'll know that Spirit's moving you along to where you need to be. And for people who want to hear more about you and hear what the two of you are up to, you should definitely go to the Gathering for Humanity, May 16th through the 20th. But tell us do you want to tell us a little bit about the song as we head out here on what you've created?
Well, it's called Rain Song. And to be 100% honest and transparent, it was the first time Walkingstar and I sat down together with the idea to play together. Without ever having played with each other before or even knowing what to expect. We sat down and they started the recording and we just started playing. And Rain Song was the piece that came through, and it was as if we had been playing together for years. It was that seamless and smooth, and even afterwards we just kind of looked at each other, and the engineers and everyone just looked and went, wow. And that was pretty much all that could be said, was just like, wow.
And it was just one take. I mean, we just played and recorded it, and that was it.
Well, then everybody who's listening, you get to hear this one-take wonder of Rain Song as we complete the show here today. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you to the two of you for being here. Thank you for stepping up and being part of the Gathering for Humanity. Thank you to everybody who was on the show today and last week. And we wish nothing but incredible, energetic success for this experience that people are about to embark on in May. And we look forward to learning more about the work the two of you are doing, and we welcome you back here on ZGR anytime. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Thank you to all. Thank you to Creator. Thank you to the Mother. And we're so grateful that we have ways to support you as well. You're listening to Lainie, Sevante, Wolkin, and it's been an absolute pleasure to be here today with you. All the very best. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you very much. I encourage everybody to come to the Gathering of Humanity. It's an event not to be missed.
That's true.
And so it is. Okay. Blessings.
Blessings.
In this time of great change and personal healing, the upcoming Gathering for Humanity on May 16th through 20th in Santa Fe, New Mexico offers a powerful and timely 5-day retreat conference for unity and awakening at this pivotal moment on Earth. As a mandate of Spirit through Universal Healer Mayan grandmother Flordemayo, the Gathering is an urgent call to all humanity committed to awakening and moving with love, light, compassion, and peace. In this pivotal time on Earth, we recognize the inherent need for humanity to move in a more harmonious way through our habits, what we hold true, how we see our place in nature, with the universe, and within our hearts. Grandmother Flordemayo was shown that each of us is holding a piece of the puzzle that will catapult us in the direction of personal and collective healing, wisdom, and harmony. To learn more, please visit gatheringforhumanity.org.